Hi, I'm Dustin Saldarriaga, an immigration lawyer with Scott Legal PC in New York City. And in this video, we are continuing our series on the E-2 investor visa by sharing with you how those who were not born in an E-2 treaty country can still apply for an E-2 visa. Since the E-2 visa is one of the best options for those who want to start or build a business in the United States, and since many countries are not E-2 treaty countries, including China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, to name a few, this is an important topic that's relevant for many aspiring entrepreneurs. Before we dive in, this video focuses on one of several requirements for the E-2 investor visa, namely the nationality requirement. If you're interested in more information about this requirement and the other E-2 visa requirements, including the requirement that the investor commit funds to the business, own at least 50% of the business, and that the business have the capacity to employ U.S. workers, we've posted to our YouTube channel our full webinar on the E-2 visa, as well as additional videos on these and other requirements that apply to the E-2 investor visa. We also share a lot of free information about the E-2 visa and other visas on our blog. We'll link to both our blog and our YouTube channel below. Finally, please remember that no video or blog post can replace the value of working directly with an immigration lawyer who can navigate the specific nuances of your application. This video discusses the process of applying for citizenship in Grenada. If you choose to pursue this path, we strongly recommend that you seek the assistance of a qualified lawyer who is licensed to practice immigration law in Grenada. Scott Legal practices only U.S. immigration law. So let's take a look at how those who don't currently meet the E-2 nationality requirement can change that and become eligible for one of the best visa options to build a business in the United States. But first, why is the E-2 visa so special? And why would anyone consider taking steps to become eligible for an E-2 visa? The E-2 visa is often the ideal option for entrepreneurs who want to start or grow a business in the United States, whether they have a startup, are opening a franchise, or are buying a business in the US that already exists. The E-2 visa can be issued for up to 5 years, and although it's not a green card, it can be renewed indefinitely. There are no educational requirements that the applicant must meet, and there's no huge investment that's required in most cases, as there would be, say, for an EB-5 green card, which is also known as the millionaire's green card. The E-2 is really a visa meant for the foreign entrepreneur who has a great business idea and the drive and qualifications to develop it. The entrepreneur's family also receives benefits. Their spouse can work and study in the US, and their children can enroll in school. One of the fundamental threshold requirements for an investor to be eligible for an E-2 investor visa is that the investor must be a national of an E-2 treaty country. This means that they must hold a valid passport from one of the many countries that has an E-2 treaty with the United States. There are dozens of E-2 treaty countries, and these are listed on the U.S. Department of State's website, which we'll link to below. However, there are many countries that are not E-2 treaty countries, and these include China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, to name just a few. Now, fortunately, it doesn't matter where the E-2 investor was born. All that matters is whether they hold a valid passport from an E-2 treaty country. Under U.S. immigration law, the country of birth controls the availability of a green card. Since the E-2 visa is a temporary visa and not a green card, the country of birth is not controlling. Let's take an example. An investor was born in Uruguay, which is not an E-2 treaty country, and has Uruguayan citizenship. Through a parent, the investor also has citizenship in Italy, which is an E-2 treaty country. They satisfy the nationality requirement by holding an Italian passport, even if they've never even been to Italy. Also worth mentioning is that if the E-2 investor applicant wants their spouse and children to accompany them, only the investor needs E-2 nationality. Their spouse and children do not need E-2 country nationality. So if the investor only needs a passport from an E-2 country to meet the nationality requirement, how can they go about doing this? Fortunately, some E-2 treaty countries offer citizenship in exchange for making an investment in the E-2 country. This is often referred to as citizenship by investment, or CBI. This is a legal pathway that opens the door to an E-2 visa for many individuals who would otherwise be ineligible for an E-2 visa based on their nationality. One of the most popular citizenship by investment programs is offered by the country of Grenada. Grenada, which has had an E-2 treaty with the United States since 1989, is a beautiful country located in the Caribbean. Visa reciprocity between the U.S. and Grenada is 5 years, the maximum amount of time that the E-2 visa can be issued for. And the E-2 visa can be renewed indefinitely. Grenada has no residency requirement for citizenship, and processing times typically take less than 1 year. Grenada also allows dual citizenship, so you may not have to give up your original citizenship. However, it's important that you check the rules of your home country if you want to make sure to preserve your original citizenship. As of the date this video was recorded, Grenada offers 2 options for receiving citizenship through investment. The first option is for the investor to make a donation to Grenada's National Transformation Fund, or NTF. The NTF funds projects in Grenada for many industries. The minimum donation is $150,000 US for a single applicant. The second option is for the investor to purchase a real estate project that has been approved by the government of Grenada. These projects can include, among other things, hotels, villas, and resorts. The minimum investment for this option is $220,000 US. But it's important to note that unlike option 1, the applicant owns the asset, which they must keep for at least 5 years following the grant of citizenship. So once the investor has received citizenship in Grenada, what happens then? Well, the investor would prepare their E-2 visa application, demonstrating that they satisfy not only the nationality requirement, but all other requirements for the E-2 investor visa. Typically, the investor would have the option to submit their E-2 investor application to and attend the visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown, Barbados, or the consulate in their home country. The Barbados Embassy is responsible for all applicants from Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, including Grenada. Some consulates in other countries accept applications from third country nationals, but the list of these consulates changes. For the most updated information, speak with an immigration lawyer if you're considering applying as a third country national. If your E-2 investor visa is approved after you've attended your interview at the consulate, it's important that you enter the U.S. on the passport from the E-2 treaty country. The investor would not be eligible to operate the E-2 business if they enter using a passport from a country that does not have an E-2 treaty with the United States. Finally, if the investor were to receive an E-2 visa through Grenada citizenship, what nationality would any E-2 employees employed by the company need to have? Since the nationality of any E-2 employees must match the nationality of the E-2 business, any E-2 employees would need to have Grenada citizenship. If the company is 50% owned by a national of another E-2 treaty country, nationals of that country would also be eligible for an E-2 employee visa, as long as they otherwise qualify for the visa. As we mentioned earlier in this video, if you're considering Grenada's Citizenship by Investment program, please consult with a qualified lawyer who practices immigration law in Grenada. Scott Legal is licensed to practice only U.S. immigration law. So while we can guide you through the E-2 visa application process and provide an overview of Grenada's program, we cannot provide legal advice on the process of applying for citizenship in Grenada. We hope this video about acquiring E-2 treaty country nationality was helpful. If it was, please click the like and subscribe buttons below to stay updated on future videos about visa options and travel to the U.S. Thank you for watching.